All right, India versus New Zealand. Is this the finals preview? I don't know, but we wait and find out. We had a cracker of a match. We had lots of spin. We had flying catches. We had India batting first for the first time in the tournament. Bit of a hiccup, put up a decent score. New Zealand batted, looked like they would have made a good fight of it, but then India just strangled them with the spin and came out with the victory.
Yeah.
Thoughts
What
on the
else do
game?
you want to expect? Yeah, no, what a great game in Dubai, and I think this is probably one of the most close watched games in the entire tournament. And not too high scoring as we saw in some of the Pakistani pitches, but typical of a Dubai wicket. But India made some changes. New Zealand strong as ever. Williamson being clutch, and but no, it was a class game from both teams, and I think both teams will take away a lot from this match.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good fight, good battle. New Zealand definitely put up a great fight. In from the bowling standpoint, when they reduced India to what was it like three for spit, as our friends down
Yeah, I
under
think it's
say.
33 for three at one point.
Yeah, yeah. And let's quickly talk about that third wicket that fell. Virat Kohli looked good in the 11 that he made, and a nice cover drive or square drive, only to get stopped by Superman himself.
I know, and over here, especially in India, everyone was talking about Virat Kohli's 300th ODI. Looking for a century, such a big occasion, and it seems like Glenn Phillips' right hand shut everyone up. And what a cat! Even Kohli, in the middle of the ground, was stunned, and I think as everyone was, what a great catch! But this was not Glenn Phillips' first time with such a catch this tournament. He had a similar catch against Rizwan, and it just goes to show that New Zealand fielding is up there when it comes to class in world cricket, and Glenn Phillips is the epitome of that.
Yeah, for sure. Glenn Phillips he is by far, I've said this before, he's by far the best fielder in the world right now, possibly making claim for best fielder of all time. I'm saying
Ooh,
better than
that's a
Jonty
hot
Rhodes.
take. That's
Better
a
than
hot
Jonty
take
Rhodes. He
because
is
every
phenomenal. Like Jonty Rhodes was also equally good, but I don't think we've seen as many flying catches. Maybe it's because I was really young and I didn't see as much. But anyone out there who's seen a lot of Jonty Rhodes footage, like, have you seen as many catches like that in the similar position taken ever in a cricket game before? Like, it's crazy how he's able to do it every single time.
I know. The balls. I think they're obviously doing a deep analysis of that. 0.62 seconds of a reaction time right into the palm of your hand. Incredible, and it really goes to show that fielding does impact the momentum of the game because right after that, India was really on a knife's edge. But that partnership between Akshar Patel and Shreyas Iyer was really instrumental in India getting to at least a little bit of a competitive score. What do you think about that, Toronto?
Yeah, yeah. I think Shreyas Iyer he's found, and again, I've said this before, he's found the ability to play the situation as per demand. And he
Yes.
can switch gears, he can start at fifth gear, come back down to three, start at first, move up to second, third, and then accelerate. He really knows how to play the match situations. He looks really mature as a cricketer. He even speaks well on match in the press match conferences
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it looks like a complete batsman right now. Let's see how long this lasts. We're definitely seeing the peak of Shreyas Iyer, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, incredible, especially in the ODI format for Team India.
Yeah.
I did, I think every Indian fan wanted him to get a century just because of how he really grinded that innings. But nonetheless, I think, each run was worth its weight in gold. Unsung hero, Akshar Patel coming in a little bit early and,
As
just, even
usual.
though, as usual, and I know everyone's going to talk about how slow he was and, those dot balls that they were taking in. But at that point in time, that's what the situation required. Akshar Patel really, helping them rotate strike. Again, super important partnership that, again, Akshar Patel was part of.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those pitches where it demanded a little bit of patience, a little bit of maturity from the batsman. You couldn't go, all out from ball one. You had to take your time. You had to get acclimatized to the wicket. You had to play the ball on its merit and string together a partnership, absorb pressure. And that's exactly what Akshar and Shreyas did. The pitch was made for test match cricket.
Yes.
And we got test match style cricket in one day format. And that's what one day format is supposed to be.
Yep.
right? Not to go on a tangent, but people say, oh, one day format is like a long T20. No, one day format is a shorter test match. That's what it is.
Flip that. That's a quote.
Yeah, and this is what we saw today. We saw India get into test match mode, absorb pressure, put together a partnership, and then kind of unleash towards the end. Couldn't really, again, because of the nature of the wicket. But then shout out to Hardik's innings of 45. He was instrumental in getting India to that 250 target.
Oh, super, super important because I think we were obviously texting during the match, and I think we were looking at that minimum 250 mark to at least be a little competitive.
Yeah.
Give that score pressure, as they say. Pandya, it didn't seem like he was a little bit slow, and it seemed like at least a lot for the Indian batsman. The ball just wasn't coming off the bat, but I think he had three quick boundaries within an over. I think the 47th or 40th over, which is super important. And really was able to he's able to get his 45, and then India was able to get 250 mark, which I think from at least both of us was the least that they were aiming to get against New Zealand.
Yeah, on these sort of pitches where it's a bit on the tired side, it's a bit slow, anything between 240 to 270 is generally like a good score. You can really fight with that. And that's exactly what we saw. So New Zealand came out to bat. And again, they didn't have the greatest start. They had Rachin Ravindra get out early. Pandya took the new ball. Let's talk about why he took the new ball. So India made a change to the 11, and we kept talking about Varun for Kuldeep, but we ended up getting Varun for Rana.
Ron,
What was your thought on the change there?
see, look, initially I know we were talking before the match and we saw the lineups, and initially I was expecting Harshdeep Singh to play, and when Varun came in, I think no one's really upset of Varun's inclusion because we obviously saw how he played against England. But it was, are they putting a lot of their eggs in the spinning basket? Are they really, being risky with that bet? And hey, kudos to the management, kudos to Rohit Sharma, because, at the end of it, the bet paid off.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely paid off, and I think the situation on the pitch allowed for four spinners because you saw it in the second innings. Like the ball was really gripping in that second innings, and India made the most of it with the four spinners. They're able to put a stranglehold on New Zealand, who would much rather prefer to face faster bowling. And so I think it made sense to make that change, given the situation, given the pitch, given the opposition.
Yeah, no, no. Kudos to the management, the think tank. I think that was a brave move to make. But again, fortune favors the brave, and I guess we'll talk about the New Zealand innings. But before we talk about the Indian bowling, shout out to Williamson because he was that pillar in the New Zealand batting that kept them in the game throughout all those overs because they're all batting around him and the score wasn't too much. So as long as Williamson was in there was always a chance of them chasing the score. What were your thoughts on Williamson's batting and sort of New Zealand's approach throughout the innings?
Yeah, he played the innings that Shreyas played for India, right? He
Yeah,
held the
yeah,
innings together, the anchor
yeah.
role that was needed. The problem was the other end. No one was able to really kick on. No one was able to play that Akshar Patel innings or the Hardik Pandya innings. Mitchell Santner sort of did something, but it was too late towards the end. They needed one off Daryl Mitchell, Tom Latham, and Glenn Phillips to make like a good 50 or 40,
Exactly.
on a ball 40, 50, something like that. That never happened. And I think that was the game there. Those three players was the key, I think, for India because um, Daryl Mitchell and Glenn Phillips especially, they can take the game away from you. Glenn Phillips has a knack of playing those innings, those 15 ball 30s, 20 ball 35, 40s, and he can really take the game away. And he showed inklings of doing that, but again, Varun Chakaravarthy, there's something about the way he's able to put a spell on these, let's just say, non-Asian batters, and they can't seem to pick him. None of them.
No, no, no. And hey, how poetic is it that the same ground where Varun went, I think 0 for 33 against Pakistan 3, 4 years back. That really
Got
derailed his
dropped.
international. Yeah, that really derailed his international career. And him making his debut in the Champions League tournament. I don't think he's played too many ODIs games for India as well. Usually he's a T20 player. To really come in and get a
Second game.
fifer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. To get a fifer, incredible. And he was getting he was he I think a few of his wickets were bowled. And that just goes to show that they were not able to pick the flight, not able to pick the spin, not able to pick the pace. And that's what India really wants, a mystery spinner that's able to, turn the ball both ways and able to really bamboozle batsmen. And I think that was a difference, just the ability to not being able to pick him. That's what it was.
Yeah, and there's something about getting a batter LBW and bowled because that means that the batter missed the ball. In most other dismissals, the batter somewhat caught the ball, mistimed it, didn't get the middle of the bat. But with a bowled and LBW, it's the most bowler's dismissal because you've bamboozled the batsman. The batsman, these are high caliber international
Yeah.
players. They don't miss the ball like that. So
No, no.
the fact that they can't play the line of the ball is because they're not able to read which way it's spinning. And that's testament to Varun's ability to be able to deliver the way he's doing right now. And he's also seems to be in a place where he knows how to bowl and depending on the situation. He even said in the presser after, I didn't listen to all of it, but the headline was he bowls in one, he has a different way of bowling in one days than T20. And that's good to hear. So he understands, okay, based on the game situation, based on what format, he knows what his plans need to be. And that's testament to a mature bowler.
Exactly that, and Varun getting his fifer. Obviously, we can't dismiss the experience and clinic that Kuldeep Yadav and Akshar Patel and Jadeja all played because they all were key instruments in getting those key wickets. And India's spinning attack is incredible, and I don't think there's a squad in the world which can match India's spinning abilities because you have Jadeja with the experience, Akshar Patel with the left arm, and then you have Kuldeep as well. That's really, if Kuldeep is not able to get you, Akshar will get you. If Akshar not able to get you, Jadeja will get you. If Jadeja will not be able to get you, you got Varun. So India has a plethora of bowlers that are able to get wickets. And these are just not bowlers that are able to get those quick overs in, able to maintain an end. These are wicket taking
Yeah.
bowlers, right? And I think that's a key bastion to have, especially on Dubai pitches.
Yeah, it's definitely no Kushtil Shah and Salman Aga.
No
Had
part
to
times
come up
over
with the
here.
drive by there.
No part times over here.
Yeah, no part-timers here. And to your point, I think the closest team that can put up a squad of spinners like that is probably Afghanistan.
Oh
Afghanistan's
yes.
got the ability to put up 3 or 4 quality spinners at one time. But when you look at India's, the experience and the abilities, I feel, are way better than the Afghanis. Apart from maybe Rashid Khan will probably would be in the same debate as the Indian spinners. Maybe
Noor Ahmed.
Noor Ahmed, he's
Noor Ahmed.
getting there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he still needs more experience under his belt. But yeah, that's a great call right there. India definitely has an advantage when it comes to spin. And as long as these matches are played in Dubai, I feel like India will have the advantage because of their spinners.
No, no, exactly that. So, India was able to really tidy up a low scoring match that really was a nail biter. But, just taking a step back, let's just, not talk about the result as of right now. Who did India want to play in the semis? Did India want to play Australia or South Africa? Because there was that discourse that even if India lose, is South Africa a better bet than Australia in the semifinals? Just based on recent history. What were your thoughts on that, Tron?
I'm taking Australia. I rather
Okay,
face
okay.
Australia. South Africa looks in prime form right now. They won all their group games. Australia only won one game. They didn't the other two got washed out. The one against Afghanistan, that could have been a tricky chase for them. We never got to see it.
Yeah.
And Australia's players, they have more players that have less experience, especially in these conditions, in Dubai spinning conditions, than South Africa's. I think South Africa has established world beaters in their lineup that Australia don't. And I'm talking specifically batting. And even from the bowling standpoint, South Africa is way stronger. I mean, South Africa has Rabada coming first change. Rabada, one of the greatest of all time, coming first
That's
change.
true.
Like that's enough said right there. And Australia's missing all their key bowlers for whatever reason. And so I would take Australia. I think Australia is definitely a weaker team compared to South Africa. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to see that battle because that would have been fascinating to see. But if I'm India right now, I'm probably salivating at playing Australia in Dubai.
Yes, I would agree as well. I think to your point, I think the key differential for me is that experience that you just mentioned. Austria is coming with a very inexperienced team, and you know, even though I hate saying it, Travis Head is still part of the team. I think
I
India
know,
will still favor
I
the
know,
inexperience.
I know. And to give Australia credit, they did win against England without the services of Travis Head or Steve Smith. They
That's
won it
true.
because of Josh English, Alex Carey, and I think it was Matt Short that gave a good start at the
Yeah,
top
yeah.
there. So, you never know. You never know. It's Australia. They have that champions mentality. It's in their blood. They just know how to win. They know how to step up on big match situations. And that's what India has to be worried about. But if there's any Australian team I'd face, it's this one.
No, very true, very true. So now, I think tomorrow, the fourth, India plays Australia. Uh, First of all, early thoughts, and second, do you expect any changes from India's side going into that match?
Yeah, this is going to be super interesting because, like, are India going to go with four spinners again? I feel that they might. I feel that they might just because they're playing Australia. And again, it's been talked about a lot, but Australia has played in Pakistan. They are coming to Dubai. They've only had a couple of days of practice. And I know there's a lot of talk about this not being fair and India has the advantage. And I get it. I get it. And that's a separate topic. But because they are playing in Dubai on this in these conditions, and again, it's Australia. I probably go with the strength of playing four spinners and rely on Hardik and Shami giving you those 20 overs of pace bowling, which you may not even need.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think similarly as well. I think India found its combination in the last match. I'm a little worried about Shami's fitness. I know his shoulder, he's hit by the ball. I'm not sure if he's will be 100%. I'm not sure if Rana or Arshdeep will come in instead of Shami, but I want to see a fit Shami, and I think India will stick with their four spinners as well. And I think that's something that Australia just does not want to see. Four spinners on a turning track in Dubai could lead to a great spinning show for Team India.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I hope Shami plays because Shami provides the stability at the top of the ball that I don't think Harshit, Rana, and Arshdeep have, which is key against someone like Travis Head, Matthew Short, that are going to come at you. And so you need to be able to hit your lines and be able to change up and outthink the batsman. Having said that, Arshdeep was probably the next best option, I'd say, just given the
Same, I
situation and
agree.
his ability to bowl slower balls, have his change ups. He's got it all, and he's left arm. So if Shami can play, I'm probably leaning towards Ashdeep.
I agree. I agree. I know Harshit, doesn't have the best time in Australia against Australia. I know they're playing in Dubai, but no, I think I would prefer Arshdeep as well. I think Arshdeep has a little bit better control, and he does offer that left arm, variation as well. So hopefully Shami is fit, because obviously we think we both agree we prefer Shami. But without if Shami's unfit, I think it would be a great option to have Arshdeep in the squad as well. But no, let's keep Varun in the spinning attack and let him do his business.
Yeah, yeah. So who do you think is going to take the game?
Oh man, I definitely think momentum's with Team India now. I think Varun needed this game for his confidence, and I think confidence is a big thing for semifinal matches. I think India has a momentum, and I know the top three batsmen didn't perform the best, but we're hoping that at least one or two of them can perform in the knockout. So no, I'm sticking with Team India against Australia.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you as well. I think India is just too deep, batting too deep. Bowling, they have depth as well as we saw against New Zealand. If they want to play three fast bowlers and three spinners, they can do that. If they want to play four fast bowlers and two spinners, they can do that. They have all types of combinations that they can play. They also have the advantage. Yes, they have the advantage of playing in Dubai. They've played what, three games now. They've been there for almost 2 weeks. They didn't have to change hotels, didn't have to take any flights. There's absolutely no excuses. And that actually puts more pressure on them, which I think someone called out on. I think it was Van der Dusen that said that it actually puts more pressure on them to win because they have the advantage in this tournament, which is clear. And so I do see India coming out with the W, and I hope it's going to be a battle, and I hope it's going to be a great game. But I don't want to see Australia get into that champions mentality like they usually do. And please, please, Travis Head, get him out somehow. Get him out.
No, I completely agree. I think it's gonna be a cracker of a game. So, Tron, what's your slot suit for the match?
Yeah, so my slog sweep prediction in terms of contributions, I think we're going to see um, Australia score 260 and put
Okay,
India under pressure. I think Australia's
okay,
going to bat first. Is going to probably put them in, or Australia will choose to bat first, and then because it is harder to bat on in the second innings, the ball does
yes,
grip
yes,
more, and there's not much dew, and then the pitch gets
yeah,
more tired. So I feel like Australia is going to somehow score 260, and India's going to get there, but it's not going to be easy. And I think we're going to see India's batting depth come into play. The fact that they have Jadeja coming at eight. So I think it's going to be a hell of a game, like it always is with India Australia. That's my prediction.
no, great prediction. I'm gonna flip that a little bit from my end. I think India's gonna win, but I think India will bat first. Similarly, I think that just and I think they're gonna put up a decent score. But I think the player that's gonna make the difference, Kuldeep Yadav. I think he's just one of those players that just he's due for a match. He's due for that that Kuldeep magic, and I think you potentially will get a fifer. So I'm calling for a Kuldeep Pfeiffer against Australia in the semifinals of the Champions Trophy.
All right. Great prediction. Okay. Well, we can't wait for the semifinal. It's going to be a fun game. We're obviously going to bring you the review and unpack the entire game after it's done. Until then, that's it for the day's play. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That stumps.